Hi guys! Today you're going to be drawing birds like the famous artist John James Audubon. Check him out on your Flipgrid. Have fun! Hi guys! Today you're going to be making a drawing of a bird inspired by the artist John James Audubon. Pick your favorite place in your backyard where lots of birds are and stay very quiet. Grab your sketchbook and try to draw the birds you see. Have fun! The supplies you'll need are drawing paper, pencil, and things to color with. Color pencils, crayons, markers, and possibly objects to trace around, like a bowl or a lid or a cup. I will be drawing a bluebird. You can pick any kind of bird. First, think about the big shape, its body. What does it look like? I thought of a circle, so I used a bowl to draw my big circle. Then I looked at other parts of the bird, like the head. What shape is that? To me, it looked like a circle as well, but a smaller one, so I chose a cup to trace around to make the circle of the bird's head. Then where those two circles overlap, or crisscross, I erased those out so it looks like the body and the head are connected. Once I have the body and the head drawn, then I'm going to look for other parts of the bird, like the beak. What shape is that? To me, it looks like a triangle, so I'm going to put a triangle on the front of my bird's head. Now I'm going to look for other things the bird has, like a wing. The wing also looks like the shape of a triangle. It's pointing on one end, and the other end, instead of flat, I kind of just rounded it a bit to form the wing. Now I'm looking at the outline of the bird, and I'm going to try to soften up some of those sharp corners and just smooth them out a bit with a straighter line, and then erase some of the inside lines out that I don't need anymore. As I work, I'm going to continue to look at the bird and bring it from out of focus to in focus. And then to do that, I just look for more details, smaller things that the bird may have, like his eye. So I draw a circle to form the eye, and then the beak, or the triangle that we put on the front, a bird's beak opens, so there needs to be a line that splits the triangle to create the beak. Now I'm just softening up some of the edges on the bottom of the bird and trying to make it look a little feathery. Birds have two legs at the bottom of their body. The legs kind of look like a stick or a long oval shape. And at the end of the legs are their feet, and there's 3 of them, or for a human it'd be toes, but they have 3. So I just drawed 3 little ovals off the end of its leg. I added something for the bird to be sitting on, like a fence or a long branch. And then I'm going to go back and look at more details within the bird, like its wings. Instead of just one large shape, I'm going to try to draw individual feathers by just adding some simple lines that start at the end of the wing and work towards the center of the body. Birds may have more than one color on their body and head, so I used a simple line just to kind of indicate where the different colors would come together. Once you're done with your pencil drawing, if you like, you can use a black Sharpie marker or a black colored pencil and outline your drawing. There is a children's book called The Boy Who Drew Birds, a story of John James Audubon. That's really interesting, and it talks about his life. And this is the artist that is inspiring our bird drawing. John James loved birds. He loved to take walks out in the woodland areas, and he would go out there with his drawing pad and pencil and sit very quietly as he looked for birds, and he would sketch them. And he was very curious. He also wanted to know where the birds went in the winter, and if they came back to the same place they nested. Take a minute and listen to the read aloud story about John James Audubon. Have fun! You can use objects around your house to help you form a bird. I chose a plate for a body, a lotion bottle for the wings, a little cup for the head, a chapstick container for one of the legs, and even a chip, shape of a triangle, for the beak. See what objects you can find to help you draw your bird. You can start by putting a plate on your paper to help you trace a circle, which would be the shape of the body. Then you can grab a cup that's smaller, trace around it to make another circle to form the shape of the head. You could use a triangle shape. I chose a chip to draw the beak. And once you have that traced, then you can use a lotion bottle perhaps to be the shape of the wing. Put it down and trace around that. I chose a container of chapstick for the legs. I traced around a bottle to form the upper part of the leg. Then I put the chapstick down to give me the shape of the leg. Traced around that. And then I used my pita chip again as a shape to help me draw the feet of the bird, which is a triangle shape. And then I broke the triangle shape up into 3 individual feet, or if it was a human, toes for my bird. The bird has 2 legs, so I use a chapstick again to help me form the back leg of the bird. Put the chapstick down and traced around it. And then I used a chip again, put that down to give me the shape of the feet of the bird. And once I have that outlined, then I'm going to go back and draw the 3 individual toes, if you will, of the bird. Don't forget about the bird's eye. I used the lid from the chapstick to trace around to form a little circle for the bird's eye. Then you can use your eraser to erase out any unneeded lines. I erased out the line between the head and the beak and the head and the body, so it looks like these 2 things are joined, and also erased out the line in the wing area of the body, so it looks like the wings over top of the body. Erased out the little lines in the legs, so it looks like the legs on top, and this just helps your bird picture come together. Now I'm looking for little details that I can add. Like, is there an extra line that goes around the eye because there's a different color there? Is there a line that splits the beak in half so it looks like there's a top and a bottom beak as if it could open? And I'm just smoothing up the edges so they're not so sharp, making them nice and soft and round. Then I'm going to go back and look at the wing. Are there little lines that I could put in there to look like long, thin feathers? So I'm just going to add a bunch of little lines to create some longer feathers in the wing. The bottom part of the bird looks pretty feathery. So if I just rough up the edge of my line so it's not so smooth, it looks more like feathers than rather if it's a nice smooth line. And I'm working around on the legs, and I'm drawing in my little triangles at the bottom of the legs individual feet. There are 3 of them for a bird. Once I have the bird's legs drawn, then I'm going to think about what the bird would be sitting on. It could be a branch, a flower, a birdhouse, a rock, anything that's outside in the wilderness. Add this fun detail to your drawing. John James Audubon loved birds, and he had many questions. He noticed they made nests, and he wondered if these birds would come back in the spring to occupy the same nest. So he had the idea of, how could I track a bird? He took a silver thread and tied it around the baby bird's legs when they were in the nest, and then when they were old enough, they flew away, and he waited all year till they returned again in the spring to see if those same birds returned. Well, the mother and the father came back to the nest, but the baby birds did not. So he looked around even more, and he found in other places close to the mama and the daddy bird, the baby birds with these strings on their legs. And so he was the first person to discover something called homing. And he discovered this in 1804. Homing is where a bird will return to the same nest each year, and their offspring nest nearby. Once you have your drawing complete, then you're going to use colored pencils or markers or crayon, whatever you have available, to start coloring your bird. Mine is a blue bird, so the wings are blue and its head is blue, and the belly of the bird kind of has some lighter white grayish feathers, and then a little bit above the belly there's some more orangey colors, and the beak is black and his eyes black, and the legs are kind of blackish gray. And then I colored the fence or the old stump that the bird is sitting on some gray black colors. Have fun coloring your bird. I look forward to seeing what birds live in your backyards. Be creative and have fun, just like John James Audubon.